done a lot of jiu-jitsu, but I've also done some freestyle wrestling, competed at one point or another. Also I did it for MMA. And lately, again, I've been doing a lot more wrestling. That's why I wanted to do this in this camp. I wanted to teach stand-up wrestling. Specifically, well, of course, we're doing submission wrestling, but we're going to take an approach. I'm going to give you an example how to do it in a Greco-Roman style. And before we get into any techniques, I'll just give you a little bit of a framework that I have. Why I do Greco-Roman style in submission grappling. Okay, so first of all, the most obvious difference is that in Greco-Roman they don't need to watch over any leg attacks, so obviously their stance is going to be much higher. They're going to be a lot more like upright here, ready to grapple here, all right? So legs are more exposed. Obvious drawback, okay, because if you're like this, your leg is exposed. Now, before I'm going to explain all the upsides, which are like humongous, I'll just focus on that negative to get it out of the way, okay? So I know I'm more upright. Okay, I don't have to be like this. Well, no, but even Greco-Romans are like this. They're just like that. One leg generally in front, a little bit bent, and here we are ready to grapple from the upper body. Now, we're doing submission wrestling. You're gonna attack my feet if you want to do freestyle leg attacks. Now, really, the only thing you can do is take a single leg. Okay, you're not gonna shoot me on double leg. I'm like this here. You're not gonna ever reach the double leg. I'll get an underhook. It's not gonna have double hook. It's not gonna come. It's gonna be a single leg. And it's because my posture is more upright, I won't have this early defense. I won't be so low here defending them. It's easier for you to grab. And it's the most high percentage thing you can do, okay? But what's the upside of me knowing that that's the only thing that you can do? Okay. I can be prepared for it, more or less. Okay, I can do a lot of single leg defenses. I know what's happening. I can sprawl. Okay, I know how to do stand-up, how to counter them on standing. Even when you reach the ground, even when you get single leg to the ground here, different sorts of situations. If we talk about ADC style, if you're thinking about competing, it's very hard to actually get the final score on here, because even when we're on the knees, that's going to be the 3-second rule. I don't mind pulling guard. I actually like guard, okay? So if I'm 3 seconds here, I can always roll and do a guard pull here. So it's kind of like a fancy way to pull guard. If everything goes at the worst way, I'll be in a neutral position that I like, okay? That's how I view it, okay? More about the defense. We're not going to cover single leg defense today, but it's something that you should be always aware of when you try to do Greco-Roman style here, okay? It's going to come. Somebody's going to take it from you, right? But if you defend it well, everything is going to be really good after that. One more thing, note, because we're doing submission grappling, submission actually helped me, not the guy doing the single legs, okay? Because I can do guillotines, I can threaten darces, anacondas, I can threaten kimuras. You just have a single leg and you're going to wrestle with it. So that's about the negative of me doing Greco-Roman style stand-up. One leg in front, single leg's going to come, and so forth. Now what's the positives of doing Greco-Roman style? So first of all, the stance itself being very low on freestyle here, okay? It can be quite exhaustive on your back, on your posture, to be quite low here. Now, if you look at, probably all of you have watched ADCC, or if you totally hate no-gi, then you probably haven't. But if you even go watch ADCC, their stance is still pretty upright. Nobody's like this here. Let's do freestyle here. No, they're gonna come pretty upright here and try to do judo-style stuff, foot sweeps and stuff. They're pretty upright anyway, okay? So it's not even really, in regards, in context of submission grappling, the stance is even not that big of a deal, because most people are still going to be very upright here. Nobody's going to come too low here, like this, ready for you, like that. So, a lot of strain on the back, and because I'm upright, you're not going to have, this is very easy for me to stand here and grapple all day here like this. No biggie, I can be here. So you're going to also, there's going to be a lot of techniques that are going to go right out the window that you don't have to worry about. Being low here, come Tom, I will use Tom as my okay. So one of the things when we're low here, be kind of low here, below, is that you're going to get a lot of like head. You're going to get a lot of this. There's going to be a lot of head gripping, a lot of tensioning. Again, I have my old back. I'm closing on 40. I don't like this. I don't want nobody yanking on my back, on my head anymore. So this is not going to happen here. Okay? You rarely see Greco-Roman wrestlers take a neck grip. Why? Because if I'm upright here, and you're going to take a neck grip, I mean, that's just freebie. I'm just going to get some grips on you immediately. Greco-Romans don't extend elbows in, just go and get something. But jiu-jitsu guys do. freestyle, they just come here. They don't worry about hand things, and so a lot of things regarding this neck control and pummeling. This is going to go out the window. You're not gonna. There's not going to happen. Somebody takes it on you. It's going to be free 2-on-1 or underhook or whatever. Upside. And also one more thing before we start doing specific techniques, and is that you're also, when I'm attacking here, look, come here. So when I'm attacking, Greco-Roman is going to come from hand grips and body grips. Okay. What happens if I don't get a body lock here? What if it's Tom defends and gets out of it? What happens? Nothing. What happens? I go here and I get some guillotines and I here. Whatever is going to happen. So I spent a lot of energy. Shooting takes a lot of explosive power and energy. Okay? It's jokingly, people say the Greco-Romans are old men. Old men. You can be like 40, 50 still grappler. Because it's just body positioning grips. Okay? So it's so, I mean, you don't risk really anything. Me getting a 2-on-1, what happens if Tom gets rid of 2-on-1? Okay, we'll do it again. I had no risk of doing this. Okay? So this is some framework that I'm thinking. And one more thing. So I'm bring you a couple of examples of when you're going to start. So let's say you've done a little bit Greco-Roman, you already know, keep your elbows tight. Okay, I'm going to go get the grips. We'll talk about this more in detail when we throughout the class, when we get to techniques. And one of the typical things when you're going to face somebody who's done jiu-jitsu and he knows a little bit legs, and so what's going to happen is I'm going to come here. What do you want to do, Tom? When somebody, I don't know if Tom does it. Let's see, what do you Tom want to do? Exactly! What a Greco-Roman guy will do is he will just start walking towards you. I will want hand grips, either wrist, elbow, or body, meaning underhook. Wrist, elbow, underhook, that's all I want. And match, this is what I'm going to come get it. You're going to give me something in the middle. You don't want, you're going to look, what are you doing? You're going to put, a lot of people will start like, stop, stay there. The moment you extend your hand, it's just a free grip. It's just free. If you don't know what you're doing, if you're against the Greco-Roman guy and you think, all right, let's do some tie-ups. Let's just, do this regular jiu-jitsu wrestling. Let's just stay here and see what happens. This doesn't exist, because you're going to immediately be something like, it's going to grip you somebody. If you don't know how to grip fight, your reactions are going to be, like this, and then you keep coming, it takes another break if I keep doing this. Alright, so you spend a lot of energy doing something you're not familiar with. And I think this is a big part that one point or another will come to jiu-jitsu. You will see high-level guys just learning how to control wrists, control hands with a lot of, with good technique. Again, go watch ADCCs like the Rotolo versus Meragali that was in the semi-final of the ADCC, last ADCC. A lot of very loose grips like boom, bam, crash. Nobody's controlling, having nice tight grips, but try to go do some grip fighting with a Greco-Roman. You get the wrist on you, you feel like it's stuck in somewhere. So that's just, I'll spend some time to give you some framework of why it's good, what's the negatives. You can mitigate the negatives by being prepared for it. Okay, so now we're gonna do some, enough of just theory, we're gonna actually do something. So first of all, since it's for everybody, it's a very basic thing what we're gonna do here I have 2 sessions, this and on Thursday. We're gonna do pretty basic stuff, but most of it is gonna be basic, even at high level, just done really well. So the first thing, we're gonna get a bit of warmed up, let's talk a little bit about the stance, right? So it's one leg in front, you can choose whatever, you can switch them in the, as you wrestle, you can always switch legs. So it's one leg in front, and you just a little bit like shift so you're just a little bit bent on the legs, and you can easily just shift your weight. So you're walking here easily, ready to shift your leg, shift your weight from one leg to another. So this is your basic stance, okay, from the lower body. On the upper body, yes, you're more upright, and you keep your elbows glued to you. You do not go extending your hands. That's why when we start grappling, this is why I walk in. I would close loop. I don't extend my elbows. I don't extend. You extend. Perfect. That's why Greco-Roman guys start like this. When you look, what are they doing? What on earth are they doing? Nobody wants to give their hands away. This is just, again, freebie. Somebody extends hands. Okay, so from the upper body, elbows are glued, and this is the stance. And we're going to do this very simple drill. Take the stance. So you're going to take a Greco-Roman start, keep the elbows close, a little bit bent here. Okay, you're a little bit your shoulder like forward. You're ready to like ram the other guy. This is what you want to do. You want to start ramming him a little bit like this. So you're in this position, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, from the shoulders, I can pull you a little bit, yes, I can pull you a little bit, I can push you a little bit, and I can rotate you a little bit, yes, like that. And all you have to do is just try to maintain your posture and stabilize after every off balance. So if he pulls me, I will take a step and I'm off balance, so I'm not just walking around just like this. Okay, so if I'm here and Tom does something, like I try to stabilize it. Always look, tries to look in the end, facing the guy and stabilize it. That's it. Little warm-up drill on the feet work, on the posture. We'll continue from there. All right? Take a partner, go. Let me do it one more time. I will just give you a little tip on this. All right, so stabilize after this pulse. Okay, I'll just re-emphasize this. So he does something on me. So I stabilize. Always think like this. Your shoulder is like your something that you're going to run him with. This is your offense here. This is what you want to do. Kind of go against him. So every time, whatever happens, I stabilize. I try to make as little steps as possible. Okay, so I don't want to do 5, 6 steps, 7 steps. So it's usually one big step, and then it can be small ones to just get that very good balance. So when I'm here, he will pull me. Okay, I'll stabilize against him. I make one big step, and then I immediately turn myself in this direction. Okay, I switch the legs right now. It doesn't have to be. I could end up in this way as well. But I get like firmly on the ground. I'm trying to be planted, my feet on the mat, so I'm ready to push him with the shoulder. Do it again. Okay, nice. This was a little warm-up, very elementary posture and movement here. So next up, as I said, when we start resting, there's 3 things that you want to do, or can happen, what you're going for here. Okay? When we start going, I will want to have wrist grips. That's one I want. There can be elbows, or I can try to get from the body here. Now there will be other grips. There can be overhooks, but overhooks come as a response from the other guys. Underhooks, not something that I aim for. I'm looking for overhooks like this. No. You're just looking wrists. Wrists and body is what you're going. Mainly elbows are a bit. We're not going to discuss elbows. And it's a bit more advanced, at least in my opinion. Not really advanced, but I'm not going to focus on the elbows in these 2 sessions. The wrists and the body. So I will go for wrists if you kind of like, don't take my wrists. Don't take my wrist. Don't take my wrist. Okay, fine. I'll take your body and throw you. So usually you will get wrists either by, if he grapples like a Greco-Roman, we'll start from here. We'll both go for wrists and start fighting here. Or you get the wrists when he's like this. Just a free wrist. So we'll do a drill. Both take like a Greco-Roman stance. We'll do first Greco-Roman. In the end, we'll go over a couple of times where he tries to do these things where he's like more like a freestyle guy or takes this lower posture. So when I go and I try to get the wrists, you could. There's all sorts of combinations. I like to take like the thumbs down here. I like to come here, palm, take them here. But you could as well do them this way, although this kind of was like a bit awkward, the closer hand if it's thumb up, because what we're gonna do next, immediately when you take grips, okay? So it's not just like, I grip them, immediately when you take grips, you're gonna lean your body weight on them a little bit. You're gonna push them downwards, and you're gonna put your body weight like on top of your hands so you can lean on them a little bit. This is something that you feel immediately when you do somebody's done Greco-Roman. They take a grip and they start leaning on this, okay? So it doesn't feel easy to be there anymore, no? So, but you do jiu-jitsu guys like this here. Okay? So we take a grip and we start leaning on it. Notice now I'm leaning on it a little bit. I try to put my weight on my hands a little bit. We're not doing anything else. We're just putting a little bit weight on them. So this allows you to make this grip a much more effective grip. A lot of pressure on it. And do it one and one. So now don't pass on me. So it takes them and puts some weight. And lean on him, lean on me. Try to, you remember the shoulder that you had here? So I'll do it on you. So you have that shoulder. You're trying to use your feet, especially your back feet, a little bit like, a little bit pressure, pushing them down, trying to like little bit. You can take a couple of steps here, and then go again. So you apply pressure downwards and forwards. Do it. One guy does, then the other guy does. One, done. Let's go. This is what I'll often do. I'll show you something and then I'll give you a little bit to try and I'll give you a detail to make it a bit better. So, when you start pushing him forward, when you go into him, or even, as a matter of fact, when I'm just approaching him, you always take quite small steps forward, like take a little small step and then you push the back foot. Small step and back foot, like this. You're not gonna do big steps going there because you're gonna be off balance yourself. You're gonna take big steps. Somebody pulls you or something. It's not good. It's not good balance. Same here. I don't want to take piece of lean on him like this. Look, he goes away from step back. I'm like this. Not good. Whenever I take steps, I'm ready to like stabilize myself. And whenever I push him, I'm always ready to stabilize myself. So when I'm here, I push him. I'm ready to. My foot is always ready to take base off the mat immediately. So it's not a big step. All right. So take the small steps. So when we go here, it's like quite small steps, like a little bit pushing it. And the front foot is going to be a bit lighter when we push because it's ready to immediately take base from the ground. Do it again. Small steps. Let's go. All right, so next, so this is very basic. Looking for hand grips here. The closer, the left leg forward, thumb down on that hand, and the other one, thumb up here. Now, next one, what we're gonna look. Next thing we're gonna look is what if he grabs me? So he's also a Greco-Roman wrestler. He's gonna come grab my wrists. Do the same one. They grab the other one as well. Okay, you grab both ones. We need to be able to deal with grips, so that's essential. What you always be dealing with. So. There's probably a lot of ways that you can deal with grips. I'm going to show you how I like to deal with the grips. So when he grabs my wrists, what I like to do is I feed his hand through my hand. So I will move my hand so his hand moves naturally with it. Yeah. So I'm here. So I feed his hand cross to my other hand. This is what I do. Then I can peel it off, and I basically try to immediately get 2-on-1. It's one of the things that I really like to do. So. You counter the grip, but you also immediately put him on the defensive. So when you do grip fightings here, feed it. This one way. There's other ways to do it, but this one way, I really like this way. Give it a try. I think if you only know one way, this is a really good way to do it. So feed it to your other hand, and same thing here. The moment I start to like pull it away, I immediately start leaning on this. So again, I'm leaning on this hand. The other one, we'll take the 2-on-1. This also goes a little bit into the 2-on-1 class we're going to do on Thursday. But for now, we can immediately take 2-on-1. Just practice this. It's very good grip that you can do immediately here. So do it again. He grabs my wrist, I feed it immediately. So I keep pushing this one down from the wrists. And this one goes around the biceps. It's like a monkey paw grip. And I just pull it and a little bit, pull it, rotate it a little bit downwards, like diagonal, a little bit like this. So again, I can bend my own legs even. We'll talk about this more on Thursday. But this makes his shoulder like this, so you're walking around like this, which is not good for you. So, again, he grabs me, bam, I feed it immediately. Bam, here we are, again. And I can do this pushing again against him. So everything is like tightly against our body. I'm pushing him when I have this grip. Again, do it 1 and 1. Now, I'll say it immediately. I would do it on the hand that is closest to me. This is where I would like to free. This is what I'll free. I don't try to free the other one, although you could do it. But this one leads, then to take here, I would need the elbow grip, and I would need to make the switch here from the stance. But this goes a bit more, we're doing very basic here, okay? Introduction for all. We're not going to do elbows and switch steps here. All you need to do is the closer hand here. This one will be enough. Don't need to switch any legs. Boom, there we go. Let's go. So, I go my left shoulder right now, left leg, left shoulder forward. When I take this, he takes my grip, okay? It doesn't matter if he's this leg forward or the other one, it doesn't matter, I'll show you both. So, I keep my head inside when I'm here, I'm like this here. So don't go here, some of you are here like this. This is kind of like Greco-Roman version of like 50-50 or something. Because he could, as well as he could grab, like hug me and start doing like body locks on me. He could do something like this. But as well as I could try to do it, he could do it as well. So this is like 50-50. No, we're gonna do 50-60, which is 60 for me, 50 for you. If the math doesn't make sense. So when you do this, keep your head like in front of him, inside here. I like to say inside. This is like an outside. Don't do it. Keep your head inside. Now, if he tries to grab me here, it's not going to happen. He's not going to grab me here. So, again, let's go. So, now we've gone really elementarily looking for the wrists, being able to peel those grips off ourselves. So, there's a couple of more things that we're going to look at today. Time, yes, we're good. So, we'll do also underhook, going for an underhook, and one of the things when we go, this is also why we keep the elbows closed. Nobody wants to give up pre-underhook. Underhook is an excellent tool. You can get an underhook. We'll also talk a little bit about controlling the important things about the underhook. But before we go into the underhook, we'll look at this kind of like wedging and re-wedging. So when he wants to take an underhook on me, he puts his fingers in there. And not this way you won't. If you do it this way, you just give me a 2-on-1. So put the elbows close. Like I could come in me, like try to like wedge the fingers in there. Like this way I tried. You can try to wedge your fingers in there a little bit. Yes. So if my elbows are like this, and you wedge your finger in, boom. So that's why nobody keeps their elbows wide. They're always close to their body, really tight here. Okay? Okay, naturally, if you're a Greco wrestler, you don't really go like this. But if you're not a Greco wrestler, because people might think like they're going to wedge themselves in there like this. Because Greco wrestler will come from the wrist. Yeah, it will go from down here, more likely. What will happen? But I want you to be aware of this. Because it's going to happen. So yeah, he tries to, but it will also come from other situations, not just directly from here. So he's wedging. I'm like, because my elbows are close, it won't happen immediately. So what I can do, I can re-wedge. I can take my own hand and come on top of his and try to push through them. It's a very important skill to have. Because it doesn't necessarily happen directly, it can be from here as well. Like we're wrist fighting, he's riding from my wrists and we're doing this. And suddenly I try to go in there. Okay? Or here, I can try to like go in from here. And he can do the re-wedge immediately, yes. So that's what I want to focus on for the next. Re-wedging. So I keep my elbows closed. But we'll do it really simply, so he will go like a barbarian, yeah? He will directly go for an underhook. Okay? Boom. Re-wedge. And you can end up, don't think about too much of the underhook. I'll talk about it next. Where it is, why, what it does. Just you get your hand in, you can just think like, take a big hug on him. Get your chest close to him, get your body against him, that's really good. That's fine. Right, and again, we can do it one-on-one. I can try to go in there, so he will re-wedge, yes. And then he will take a nice grip there, and we'll go again. All right, so start low here. One of you will try to get in there. Go, bam, and I will re-wedge here. Bam. So practice this re-wedging. Go. We'll look at basic gripping, releasing gripping, a little bit of understanding elbows close and re-wedging. So next, ABC of the underhook. So when we do ourselves get an underhook. Now, underhook can come from a lot of different situations. For us, we can think about it this way right now. If I have the control of his hands here, wrists here, okay, the closest hand, if you do it like this, yeah, you put weight on it, you also start rotating a little bit. Again, makes his hand in general weaker, but it also opens up here, space here. So when you want it to keep your elbow close, keep your elbow close. When I start pushing it down, rotating a little bit opens up here, okay? So here we could go. It's one way to get an underhook, right? But now from the underhook itself, like a couple of key details about the underhook. I like to say always when I teach something, what it is not, that's what I do first. So some misconceptions of people, including myself that I had, was that underhook just get it really deep and do something. Like it has to be just hand deep there somewhere. Okay? The goal of the underhook is to keep his elbow as far away from his body as possible. That's what the underhook should do. This is very good if I can keep his hand there. Like this. So he can't do much there. If Dom just puts it around my body here, I can start putting I can put my hand down here and put a lot of weight on his shoulder so I can defend it easily. Now, if it's up here, put your elbow down now. Okay? You're not putting your elbow down. This is what I want to do with an underhook. Not just, if you take a deep underhook, that usually means you should be going for a certain technique, all right? This is like we're going to some body lock or throw or something. If I get them locked, all right, fine, that's good. We went something concrete. Then I shoot it through there. But if I'm just getting an underhook here, and he starts to resist, like puts this one, I need to think about, we're going to fight about the elbow here. We're going to fight about keeping the elbow out there. That's what we're going to fight for. We're not going to fight for just like low here and stuff like that, okay? So, the goal is to keep, when I take an underhook, the goal is to keep his elbow high. So what do you do? How do you do this? All right? I push his hand out here. I plant my hand on his lats here, on his back here, and so he will start a little bit. You can just do it very, very lightly, okay? We don't need to fight right now. But you can feel it that he will try to, that's what overhook should do. Overhook should push my elbow down. Okay, if my elbow is down, I'm not doing anything with the underhook. So this is the elbow fight where his elbow up or my elbow down, one or the other. We're trying to achieve, trying to achieve opposite things here. So I plant my hand on the lat here. So he has a little bit of resistance here. So because my hand's on the lat, I can start making this like a crowbar effect. Pushing this one into him and this one away, my own elbow away. So this will wedge his hand a little bit like a crowbar here, trying to push it, pry it away from his body. Now, it's okay, so I try to do that, but it's important that I keep my foot and my hip underneath my own hand. Why? Because, again, basic biomechanics, like my body's far away, Tom starts pushing his elbow down, pushes it directly down. Okay, it's very weak. Okay, he pushes it down, pushes it. Like he doesn't use any muscle. Okay, so I put it like this. I'm underneath there. Push it down now. It's going to be much harder because now my own elbows are closer to my body. I can use my body as a structure below it. If you watch Greco-Romans, that's why you see all the time. They have underhooks. They walk like this here, like bam. They want to walk like this because they want to have strength behind the elbow here. Okay, so when you take an underhook, very close. I take an underhook, I start stepping into him immediately. It doesn't matter if my foot is in the middle or is it outside there. Don't fixate on that too much right now. It can be on the outside, it can be on the inside. That's fine. But I step the front leg much deeper so my hips come underneath there and the crowbar effect can slide. It doesn't need to stay here on the back. As you noticed, it could slide on the shoulder here. Because now I can, if I keep it here, I can only elevate it this high. I won't elevate it higher. If I put the hand here, I can elevate it higher. It's very good for me. I can start throwing throw-bys here and do something here. Okay? So, pry it open here. Take an underhook and step into it. And now all I want to do is get his elbow as high as I can. That's what I want to do. And you get it by elevating your own elbow and stepping underneath there, okay? You also notice this. It's like it starts sliding down. So if I get it low enough, if I'm low enough here, these hands like sliding, which is very good for me. Right. Right. So now take an underhook and control his elbow with it. Okay? Go. Give you a little feedback on the underhook. So, yes? So, as I said, my goal would be to try to elevate this elbow as high as I can, but it won't always, and most often actually it won't be. You start resisting, and I won't get it that high there, okay? So, if you had a question like, I can't get it really high, it starts resisting, this won't happen all the time. Like, okay, on an occasion, it might happen. But I get really low, I might lower myself here, and maybe I get it in there. But most of the times, I get an underhook, he starts putting overhook pressure, and I have my underhook pressure, and we'll be just like this here. Right? It's just like this, like, I'm pushing his elbow as much as I can, but if I can't push it anymore, that's fine, this is fine. I'm still keeping his elbow away from his body. This is like good for me right now. This is decent, I can push and pull him, I can continue with this one. Continue controlling him and doing something. So it won't always happen like this one. It won't always happen. Okay, so just so you know, so some of you were thinking that it has to always go there. No, you just don't want your own elbow to be stuck here, and you want to elevate his elbow with the pry bar. Okay, let's crowbar here. Let's crowbar. This is fine. Okay, it's fine. We can continue from this. Okay, actually, I want you try it a couple more times because we're going to do everything. The rest we're going to do from an underhook. So do it again. Get an underhook. Put it here. Try with a little bit of resistance. He wants to put an overhook. When he puts an overhook, he wants to push your elbow down here. If my elbow goes down, I'm not ineffective. Okay? That's why also, look, if I only put my hand in there, he immediately puts overhook. Oh, it's already gone. Very bad. Don't do it. That's why Greco-Romans, you know, they're always like body close. Here, now when he starts overhooking, like, no, it's not that effective. Versus here, when my body is away from my elbow. So, always go closer. This is when we're coming here, we're close to him. Here, I want to be very close to my hip, very close to him. This is what I want to do. Okay? Give it a few more tries. Let's go. Yes, there's a couple more things that I want to go over before we finish, all right? So we did the basic wrist fighting, able to peel. We can try to get an underhook, keep it staying close to him, keeping my hand as a crowbar here. So we'll do a couple of things here. Now this is a very Greco, as I like to call it, it's a Greco-Roman double leg, okay? We don't need to finish this every time you do it. But this is a lot of times Greco-Romans want to get the tight body lock. You want to get the body lock. You can do it with his hand being inside, it's fine. You do it from double unders, but you could also do it from here if you can. So we can just practice this from here. This is one of the things. So we're here. If I can, if his hip is close, like it is relatively close right now, so I can do it. So then I can try to, with both hands, with my like biceps, shoulder, I'll try to lift this one. With my other hand, if my other hand is here, I can try to pull him a little bit as well. Okay, and I step really close, like deep, and I go a bit lower for a moment. Right, we're controlling here, and I try to, with my hands, a little bit him upwards, penetration step between the legs. Okay, and then I try to grab around this waist. Now, this is perfect. So there's a lot of things you could do from here. We don't have to start throwing people here, but this is where you could pretty easily, even just rotating it, you could get it down pretty simple. So we'll do it from this position. He could sometimes even have an underhook himself, like he could do this. But if his hip is close, if I can catch his hip closer, all right. So I can pull him up. There's other. I can also, I will usually start by pulling him upwards, then stepping in there, right. And now you try to lock your hands as low as the lower the better. Here you might push the underhook up. Yeah, if you can do this, it's not really holding. So if I'm low enough that I can keep his elbow in there, that's it. All right. So now we have a very good grip. Now, there's a lot of ways to grip your hands, so this is one of them. I get it really deep so that I can grab my own forearm here. I could grab this way as well. The minimum grip, which is also extremely powerful, is the S grip, is to get the longest grip that you can take with your hands. Just getting your fingers in there, which will happen quite often because people tend to start walking hips a little bit back there. So sometimes I only get the fingers in there, which is perfectly fine. It's enough when you do it right now, so that you walk close to him and pull his body close to him. That's fine. If we do it this, don't need to throw him or put him down every time. So I have the underhook here. Okay, the penetration strap. Get your hip deep in there. And lock your hands. That's it. Nice. That's fine. Do it a few times. Okay, we're very close to the end now. Okay, we're very close to the end. The last thing we're going to do is that we'll go for double underhooks. Now, so when you got one underhook and you're trying to keep him close to you, and when he starts, you do it a few times. Somebody, if he's not aware, sometimes you're just standing and you can just lock your hands. He doesn't know what he's doing. You just lock your hands. He's like, what's happening? And then you start just breaking him down here. But once you do it a few times, step in, he learns to like shift his hips more backward. Yeah. So you start feeling like now you won't be able to grab it anymore. So anytime the hips go is backwards, okay, you can most likely go for the second underhook because the opposite gap here, which is not there when he's upright here. From upright, I can't do it. You can re-wedge. You can do the re-wedging here. Yeah. Okay, so it's one of the ways I can combine. I can go in there and I feel he's pushing his hips back. Okay, I step close, I want to go there, he's pushing his hips back, I take the other underhook. And with the other underhook, the idea is the same. I try to create the crowbar effect here. Okay, I try to get the crowbar effect. I walk my hips closer. This is what you see Greco-Romans do. It looks a bit weird, but that's actually very effective. Is to just pull him on top of you, walk underneath him, so that your hands can shoot like higher there to get the grip. If I'm like this here, put some weight on that, and I want to put my elbows down. Right? Yes, I can find it hard to get my grip in there. So that's why they do it like this. Oops, and I try to get it locked in there. And I have double underhooks with a very nice. There's many things you can do from here. I mean, the easiest one, or yeah, you can take the body lock and then walk him down. You can step here, try to push him down there. Or one of the easiest ones, if you feel like you can't do any of those, you can just walk around him with your grip pretty easily. You can end up in the behind here, and you can do all sorts of other funky stuff here. So let's do that one. And you get the double underhook. So we're on this underhook position, and he's walking his hips back, and he's put weight on his hands. So yes, it's like this. And I feel like there's no way I can get it there. There's no way. Okay? Do it again. Yeah. But then I can get the other underhook. Get the other underhook, hips low, and lift him like over the top of you like this. You can get your hands. That's fine. You don't need to do anything from here. Again, this is like a basic introduction. We don't need to do anything from it. It's fine. You got it here. Just let it go. Do it again. Do a few of those, and then we're basically done. Yes. Okay, time is up, all right? So thank you for participating in this class. I hope you learned something new. Again, I explained at the first kind of the idea behind this is why I would like to do it. Be this way. There's this huge minus. You can mitigate that. You know a bit about the posture and wrist fighting concepts here. Keeping your elbows close, fighting for the wrists. And you took 2-on-1, or you went for an underhook and went from there. This is very, very ABC of Greco-Roman wrestling. This is, see, you watch some Greco-Roman wrestling matches, you'll understand what they're basically doing there on wrists. And of course, there's other stuff there as well. And one of them is the 2-on-1 that will look much more in depth on Thursday. Okay, thank you.